President Biden signs into law that $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill. He plans to address the nation tonight. We have a preview.
This number continues to come down, and I'm very, very hopeful that we will continue to see that occurring.
Fairs, festivals, and frolicking. The governor announces what's going to be open this summer, from the county fairs to the local pool, as Ohio emerges from a year-long hibernation.
Help for the homeless. It's a store, a hotel, and a barbershop all in one. And it's on wheels. We have a sneak peek at the new RV delivering hope all over Northeast Ohio. And saying goodbye to a legend. Our own Jimmy Donovan pays tribute to the one and only Joe Tait. What's new starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, hello there, friends. Thank you so much for staying with us here at 5 o'clock for What's New. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford. And the semi-unofficial, somewhat official number for the day today is 72 at 12:25 p.m. at Hopkins Airport. There was a 5-minute observation at the automated station there that hit 72 degrees. So
wow.
We'll have to wait and see if that verifies and that becomes our high temperature for the day. But that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, whenever you set a record, a high or low, that's a big deal. We've been keeping records for a very long time. Betsy, a very good Thursday afternoon to you and to everyone watching at home. It's great to be with you again. Today marks 1 year since the pandemic really, for real, changed all of us. 1 year ago today, many of us left our offices and haven't gone back. 1 year ago today, many of us found out our kids would be learning from home. And 1 year ago today, we started learning words like social distancing and lockdown. And what a year it's been. And on this 1 year anniversary, the coronavirus pandemic has COVID relief 3.0 on the way. President Joe Biden today putting his signature on a bill he's called the American Rescue Plan. In all, the bill comes in with a price tag of a whopping $1.9 trillion. Some of that money will be sent directly to Americans in the form of another check. We'll have more on that in a minute. But first, Betsy, it was a big day here in Ohio, too. I mentioned the 1 year anniversary. Governor Mike DeWine speaking earlier this afternoon, giving us a state of the state on the virus here in the Buckeye State.
And we have some hopeful news to share when it comes to your spring plans. Governor DeWine just announced he anticipates county fairs will go on this season. The first set of county fairs expected to start in June. There are some limitations, 30% capacity in the grandstands, and masks will be required.
It certainly is possible that by the time we get to the second month of fairs, or even possibly the first month of fairs in June, we may be off the health orders. We don't know. So we just hope things continue to go well.
Well, festivals, parades, graduations, and proms are also going to be happening this spring. The governor said he'll let us know about the rules, the guidelines, if you will, within a few weeks on those events. Now, the good news doesn't stop there. Spring high school sports will be moving forward. And K through 12 students can participate in all extracurricular activities, even if they've been exposed to COVID in the classroom. Now, I think common sense goes a long way, but the governor did note none of the participants should be showing symptoms. So if they don't feel good, don't let them play. The state is also making rapid testing available in K through 12 schools. More than 200,000 at-home tests will be sent to educational service centers in the coming days. Also big news today for nearly 1.4 million Ohioans as more people are eligible to get their COVID vaccines. Phase 2B, that's the 50-plus group, opened up today, along with Phase 1D, those with type 2 diabetes and people suffering with end-stage renal disease. As we reported earlier in the week, Cleveland is getting set to open a mass vaccination site at the Wolstein Center next week. Registration for appointments at that site opened this morning. I will tell you, there were a lot of appointments available early this morning, but they're going to be going quick. Let's turn now to our Will Ewick with the very latest on this. And Will, they're saying some thousands of these vaccines will be given at that site each day.
Yeah, Betsy, over 17,000 people already registered. And as you mentioned, it just opened this morning there at the Wolstein Center. That's the first mass vaccination site state-sponsored in the state of Ohio. And they're hoping to really use that to push Ohio to getting a lot more Ohioans vaccinated and ready to go. The facility, however, even though people are signing up, the facility won't actually start administering vaccines until next Thursday, the 17th. When they do begin, Governor DeWine says they'll be able to administer 6,000 doses per day and will operate 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for 8 weeks. First and second doses of the Pfizer vaccine will be used for the first 6 weeks. They have not yet determined what they'll use after that. Governor DeWine also announced that 15 regional state-sponsored mass vac sites will be opening later this month. All of this aimed at getting Ohio below 50 cases per day per 100,000 people for 2 straight weeks, which is when he said he would lift restrictions. But when that is, he simply doesn't know.
We can't really predict. You can listen to the experts and they can tell you what they think is probably going to happen, but I can't stand up here and come up with any kind of dates, and there's no expert that I'm aware of in the country that can.
Now, at that press conference today, Betsy, Governor DeWine was also asked about Senate Bill 22, which a lot of the Republicans in Ohio are pushing toward, which would limit the governor's actual responsibility and what he's able to do in these cases of a pandemic or public health orders, and put that more on the Ohio General Assembly. He said that he would veto that bill if it came to him, calling it, quote, unconstitutional.
Well, you definitely want to keep an eye on those COVID vaccine site registration appointments, and we have all that information available at WKYC.com. Quick links to get right to where you need to go. Yeah. But there are appointments available still at that mass vaccination site. Very important for folks to remember that. Will, this is great information. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Well, Betsy, as we mentioned, it was 1 year ago today the coronavirus pandemic shut down America. Now, 365 days later, we've seen 30 million people infected with the virus here in the U.S. More than 500,000 have lost their lives because of it. As we look forward for better days to come, more help is on the way.
This historic legislation is about rebuilding the backbone of this country.
On this exact day 1 year ago, a rapid series of seismic changes shattered our normal lives. The World Health Organization declaring COVID-19 a pandemic.
We have rung the alarm bell loud and clear.
That same day, former President Trump announced a European travel ban. In the year since, lockdowns have forced millions out of work, and the relenting virus has stolen more than 500,000 American lives.
He was truly genuine. He was a genuine person. He didn't deserve this.
Top health official Dr. Anthony Fauci saying the death toll is far worse than he could have imagined.
We had such divisiveness in our country that even simple common sense public health measures took on a political connotation.
Now, as some states are lifting mask mandates and fully reopening businesses, medical experts are urging caution, with vaccines offering a potential pathway back to normal. President Biden addressing the nation tonight, looking back at a year of sacrifice and loss, and offering hope for what lies ahead. And that's the big question. What does lie ahead? And I know many people want answers as to when we'll fully get back to normal. Impossible to say, at least now. Dr. Fauci, though, said today, if vaccinations keep ramping up and we continue public health measures like wearing the masks, we could start seeing a big difference by the end of the summer. Well, the vaccine certainly seems to be the key to get into the lock to open the gate back to normal. And as the pool of those eligible to get the COVID vaccine here in Ohio keeps expanding, many are still waiting to get their vaccine appointments. And scammers are still trying to rip off folks and steal valuable health and banking information. Now, you want to talk about somebody who gets fired up when you talk about getting scammers, especially about people's health? Well, that'd be senior health correspondent Monica Robbins, who joins us now to explain how you can avoid becoming a victim and what to do if it happens to you. Mon.
Oh, Betsy, you nailed it. Boy, if I could put all those horrible people in one room. You know, scammers are always trying to prey on the older folks, but thanks to COVID and the desperate need for so many of us to get vaccinated, those scammers are just simply in high gear. And they're going to be contacting you by email or by phone, asking you for money, asking you for credit card info. But what's worse, they're not only trying to steal your banking information, but also your healthcare information. And armed with that, they can create a new identity and literally wipe you out. And this can happen to anyone at any age. So rule number one, treat your Medicare, Medicaid, or insurance card like you would protect your credit card. Keep copies of all of your cards at home in a safe place. Don't answer the phone if you don't know the caller. Just let it go to voicemail. And never give out any account numbers to strangers over the phone. Keep tabs on your banking and credit card statements. And if you see anything fishy, alert the bank immediately. Do not put it off. And if you think you've been scammed, call the appropriate agencies immediately as well.
To go directly to the source, let them know what you think happened. Have them take appropriate action immediately. Canceling your credit card. You should have protections built in from the bank or the investment company or the mortgage company to protect you. But in the very end, we are responsible for protecting our credit and our private information.
Also, remember, it's tax time, and a number of these con artists are going to try and call you and threaten you, telling you that they are the IRS and you owe a bunch of money. Do not fall for it. The IRS, first of all, is never going to call you. They're going to send you a bill if you owe. They're never going to threaten to have you arrested, and they're never going to ask you for a payment in gift cards or Bitcoin or some other fishy kind of payment. And they're not going to demand taxes being paid without giving you the ability to question or appeal it. So if you get those phone calls or those emails, just hang up. And Bets, I got to thank Mary. She literally just sent me an email not 20 minutes ago telling me that she was looking for a vaccine, and she received an email right after, just got bombarded with people saying, hey, fill out this survey about your vaccine search and we'll pay you $90. And she's like, wait a minute, what? And as soon as she clicked on it, they wanted her credit card info. Don't fall for this nonsense. It's just rampant out there, and I don't want anybody to fall for it.
And don't try to pay your tax bill with an Amazon gift card. It won't work. That's amazing. Yeah,
sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just can't believe, you know, that is out there, but there it is. Monica, as usual, our voice of calm insanity. Thank you so much. Jay.
Sure.
You know, I'm glad we do this often because people need to hear it often, and you can't hear it enough. Well, some good news on the unemployment front right now. It tops your feed at 5. Today, the Labor Department released its weekly job numbers, and the number of Americans filing for those first-time unemployment benefits dropped last week to 712,000. And while that may seem like a large number, it is the lowest number of weekly first-time filings that we've seen since early November. It's also below the 725,000 that was expected. Businesses remain under pressure, however, and 9.6 million jobs are still lost due to the pandemic.
Well, coming up next for us here on What's New, help for the homeless continues with a new addition to the mix, how a new RV is running on more than just fuel to get people what they need the most.
Plus, Britain's Prince William is speaking out for the first time since that bombshell interview earlier this week with his brother Prince Harry and his wife Meghan. Hear what he's denying ahead in your pop break.
I sure can.
It's the little things that make the difference with homeless hookup CLE. But one big thing is going to be making a big difference starting next month. January Keaton has more on the newest edition in the local fight to help the homeless.
It runs off donations. The fuel for that thing is paid for by the people of Cleveland.
Homeless Hookup serves the homeless in all of Greater Cleveland, and this swanky new Four Winds Hurricane RV will be an extension of that service.
We are currently in the process. We're getting it retrofitted to be the new mobile barbershop, thrift store, and shower for the homeless.
Homeless Hookup already has an RV in service, but it's a 1984 model with several repairs and over 500,000 miles on it.
It had broke down on me before. I'd gotten the brakes fixed on it twice. It was just time to put it out to pasture.
Now, feast your eyes on the new RV. Local management group Optimum paid for it. Mighty Products will outfit it with tethered iPads on the outside, and the Lakewood Fire Department will install hardwood floors and barber chairs to make it a mobile hotel and grooming shop for the homeless, with a shower, bathroom, lounge area, and eventually a barber shop and thrift store.
This RV is, it's surreal, actually. I pull up to it and I still can't believe it's mine, because, I mean, I have a house, and now I have a house on wheels, and at one point I had no house. And that's just an incredible come up. It's a miracle.
Running this Goliath of a godsend ain't cheap, y'all. It holds 75 gallons of fuel and only gets 7 to 8 miles a gallon. We're talking $250 just to fill the tank. That's a small price to pay, though, for the true value of this beast. Now, as I mentioned, they're running this Goliath of a godsend. It is not cheap. It does hold 75 gallons of fuel. It only gets 7 to 8 miles a gallon. That rounds out to about $250 just to fill the tank one time. But that is a small price to pay for the true value of that beast. Now, if you'd like to make a contribution to help Homeless Hookup keep this thing running, go to homelesshookupcle.com.
I love this. They get those services where they are needed most. They allow people to maintain their dignity and show them respect.
Absolutely.
It is such an important thing that group is doing here in Cleveland, and great that they got some really fresh wheels to do it with. That looks awesome. Thank you so much, January. Great story. Boy, I got to tell you, with these temperatures, I bet a lot of people are starting to think about going camping. This is camping weather. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, today was the day that the word humidity returned to a lot of people's mind frame. Like, wait, what is that?
Yeah, we haven't had much of that around here lately, but it's good. It felt great out there. It really did. So, Matt, thank you for that. Your weather word today, by the way, Betsy and I talked about this. I was just going to make it a word, and Betsy said, why don't we go for the whole enchilada? Give them the whole term. So for the first time in the year plus we've been doing this, in honor of the late, great Joe Tait, Matt Wentz, I want to hear you say in your weather forecast, wham, with the right hand. However you want to say it, it's up to you.
Oh, Jay, you're lucky I grew up here and listened to Joe Tait on the radio all the time. So, I'm going to fit that in seamlessly into this forecast. And if I don't, you know what? You could do it at the end of things, just in case it doesn't make it. So I appreciate that. I think Betsy will appreciate this. Betsy, I'm doing some digging. I'm trying to confirm it with the National Weather Service because my eyes aren't like they used to be in my 20s. But this was Cleveland's first rainfall in 10 days. We all know that. It's been a very dry start to the month. But from what I see, this is unofficial, I think it's the third longest March dry stretch that we've had. We had one year where it was 17 days, and then another year was in the 20s, but I didn't see anything that was greater than 10 after that. So it has been a pretty dry stretch. And one of the things you probably noticed today was just that smell once the rain started. It's been a while since that soil's gotten the rainfall. It just smelled fantastic. And we're actually, with the dry start to March, we're actually under dry considered with the drought monitor there. You can see we actually have moderate drought as you get out towards the Toledo, Detroit area. Much of the country in terms of drought off towards the west still dealing with just exceptional drought. But they're going to get some help. Areas of Colorado with a major snowstorm over the weekend. Next half hour, we'll take a look at that. It's going to be a doozy for them, perhaps one of the biggest they've had. For us, though, as I mentioned, we had the rainfall, most of it pushing out now. No rumbles of thunder. I was checking for lightning with us. We didn't have a whole lot in terms of thunder, but you can see we've kind of cleared out, and then we've got the actual cold front producing just a couple showers. Areas of Cuyahoga County now, a lot of this is falling apart, but don't be surprised if you get a couple drops of rain here as we go throughout the evening hours. The bulk of this front and the bulk of the moisture is down towards the south. This is coming in two hits. We've got cooler air tonight, but as you get up towards the north, there's much colder air up in Canada. This will skim areas of the Great Lakes, so areas like Marquette that saw the warm-up. This front's going to come in there and say wham with the right hand in terms of springtime. Get that weak stuff out of here. I know Joe Tait didn't say that, Austin Carr did, but we've certainly got a little bit of change in terms of temperatures around here, and even more so off towards the north. Temps right now, though, very comfortable. We're still in the 60s. We're going to slowly slide back tonight. You can see as we go through time, we're back into the 40s tonight. We will see those skies clear out, and this is going to set the stage for a beautiful Friday around here. You can see the model thinking that front's going to produce more rain. I don't see that tonight, but I do see us clearing out. 30s and 40s to start your Northeast Ohio Friday. Lots of sunshine will be kind of in that in-between atmosphere, so 50s in the afternoon. Should be very comfortable with that sun. Friday night plans, it will be on the chilly side. Your Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast, there you go, with that colder air over the weekend. Shouldn't be too bad, though, with the sunshine. Don't forget to spring forward. And then next week, we get some rain late Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. St. Patrick's Day, a couple lucky showers around here. But overall, we're looking at still a spring-like pattern despite the 40s this weekend. Jay?
All right, Matt, thank you for that emphatic wham with the right hand. That was well done. Very well done. We'll see you in the next half hour, Matt. Thanks. Coming up next on What's New, we all know Drew Barrymore, right? Very popular actress. Well, she has some news for fans that you may not like. Details ahead in your pop break.
And then, oh dear, wait until you see the end of this caught on camera moment. Oh, it's ahead in our Worth the Watch. That gives you the heebie-jeebies.
That looked close. Welcome back to What's New. News of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's interview this week with Oprah continues to make headlines. But now we have a statement from Harry's brother, Prince William. For that and other entertainment stories, here's Kiera Cotton with your Thursday Pop Break.
We're very much not a racist family.
Those were the latest words from Prince William. The comments come after his brother Prince Harry and wife Meghan Markle made damaging claims about the royal family in an interview with Oprah, from mental health to racism and lack of security. The interview was shocking, to say the least. Harry even addressed his once close relationship with his brother, saying, "The relationship with my brother is space at the moment. Time heals all things." While William, the Duke of Cambridge, revealed that he hasn't talked with his brother yet, he does plan to do so. And Drew Barrymore is calling it quits when it comes to acting, at least for now. The 36-year-old actress in a recent interview explained why she decided to take a step back.
And it was a no-brainer to me to put making movies on a back burner so that I could be present and raise my kids myself.
While she may be done with the big screen, at least we can still see her on the Drew Barrymore show. And Neutrogena has two new faces to represent its brand. The R&B sister duo, Chloe and Halle, have been named brand ambassadors for the skincare line. At just 22 and 20 years old, the Grammy-nominated artists have tackled TV, fashion, and of course music. But with this partnership, the beauty industry is up next. And last but not least, People Magazine's sexiest man alive, Michael B. Jordan, is set to make his directorial debut with Creed 3. The movie is set to hit theaters Thanksgiving 2022. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kiera. Well, today's Worth the Watch is actually pretty scary. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of folks out there. You're driving down the road and then all of a sudden this happens. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 18, 50. Oh! What? My gosh, that was very unexpected. I didn't think the one would land on the car, but bad judgment of distance there on that deer's behalf, unfortunately. Now, the good news is none of them were hurt. The driver obviously not hurt. That happened in Oakland County, Michigan. But remember, as Joe, our producer in the booth, just told us, where there's one, there's usually more. Yeah. And be careful.
They run in packs, and if you see that first one, just slow down. Don't do so that the car behind you doesn't have enough time to stop, but start slowing and looking around you because there's probably more. That's crazy video. It really was. All right, coming up in the second half hour of What's New, remembering Joe Tait. For years, his eyes were ours. Thousands of Cavs and Indians games painted by his voice. Jim Donovan takes a look back.
Plus, who's ready to swim? Summer is coming, and we have news out today about Cleveland's outdoor pools when they're set to reopen. That's coming up in Clicking in Cleveland.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And welcome to the second half hour of the program alongside Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Betsy, I know it wasn't full sun out there today, but it was enough for me. I would categorize this as a wind day. It was beautiful.
We got some nice breaks in the overcast, certainly. We had a little rain, too, a little windy. Preliminary number for Cleveland Hopkins came in at 71, so we'll see what's up with that, because there was...
What was the record? 70,
boy.
Was it 71?
You should ask Matt Winstead. I wrote it down. No, the record is 73, set in 1876.
So we just missed it.
So we were a degree or two off. I think we hit 72 at one point. But certainly, it's just one of those little signs of spring that keep popping up. The temperatures get too warm, and then it kind of turns cold again. Yeah, we have less than 11 days. We have 9 days.
Yeah, that's the wrong graphic. Geez, you know what? I had a momentary heart attack. Don't go. Do you remember that scene from, I don't know what movie it was. It may have been Risky Business, where they're sitting in school and they're looking at the clock, waiting for each minute to get closer and closer to release. And the clock ticks backwards a minute. That's the feeling I just got.
Terrifying.
It really is 9 days, we promise. That was 2 days ago's graphic.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got it. All right, well, let's get to 3 things to know here at 5:30. And, of course, as the Derek Chauvin trial gets going, the judge overseeing it has reinstated the third-degree murder charge for Chauvin in the death of George Floyd last May. Judge Peter Cahill previously had dismissed it. 6 jurors are selected for the trial so far that is set to begin later this month. And Democrats are making a new push to enact the first major new gun control laws in more than 2 decades, and they're starting with stricter background checks. The House passed legislation today to require background checks on all firearms sales and transfers. The chamber was also voting on and is expected to pass a bill to allow an expanded 10-day review for gun purchases. Both bills would need significant bipartisan support to pass in the Senate.
And let's take a look at Ohio's coronavirus cases in the state today. And good news, they're down about 400 from yesterday's number. 1,448 new cases reported, and that helps our 14-day average, which now moves down to 1,608. So that's definitely a move in the right direction. Our cases per 100,000 now stands at 155. That number, not an estimate, that number is official because the state updated that number today, and we'll let you know when they next update that number. As for our target of getting all those restrictions off the books, we need to be at 50 cases per 100,000. Again, right now we are 3 times that number.
Now we turn to our top talker as we continue to remember a local broadcasting legend.
Joe Tait passed away yesterday at the age of 83 years old from cancer. He was the voice of the Cavaliers for nearly 4 decades, also spent time calling Indians games. And boy, did he paint a million memories for us. Many of you are honoring his life and career as well, still chiming in on the impact Joe Tait had on your sports fandom.
Our Jimmy Donovan takes a look back now at Joe's incredible career.
Good evening from Quicken Loans Arena in downtown Cleveland.
Joe Tait painted masterpieces with his words. He took basketball games and he brought them through your radio and into your heart and took you on wonderful rides every night he called Cavs games.
Snyder sideline left. Snyder on the dribble drive to the hoop. Put it up. Goal!
Joe pulled into Cleveland in 1970, and for many years, and I do mean many years, Joe Tait was better than the Cavaliers. Really, you might not like what was going on out on the court, but on the radio, it was gold. Or should I say, it was wine and gold.
Ball picked up by Shadir. Shoots it. No good. Cavaliers win. The Cavaliers win.
Joe called Cavs games right up until 2011, when his body started giving out on him. His influence, though, is still here today in sportscasting. If you listen to many announcers, you can hear a little or a lot of Joe Tait in their call. Imitation is regarded as a compliment. Joe Tait's style is everywhere. It was his cadence, his rhythm, his building up to that great moment, the buzzer beater. It's just pure art.
Looks, fires to LeBron, 3-ball in the air. He hit it! He hit it! He hit it! Cavaliers win!
Joe wasn't a one-trick pony. Oh, by the way, Joe loved the ponies. He owned horses. He called Indians games too. In fact, Lenny Barker's perfect game.
Fly ball, center field. Manning is there. Got it! A perfect game for Lenny Barker.
He could do any sport, really, but basketball was his thing. Inducted into basketball's Hall of Fame in 2010, Joe was a modest guy. He just showed up to the next game. He was a genius in our craft. He was the voice of the Cavs, but really, he was our voice, the great Joe Tait.
And this is Joe Tait. Have a good life, everybody.
That was Joe's signature sign-off. Have a good night, everybody. Heard it a million times. It's funny, Bets, I've seen that clip of the last out of Lenny Barker's no-hitter a million times, and I've always gotten goosebumps over the size of that moment.
Yep.
But watching it right there, I watched it differently than I ever had before because I wasn't concentrating on the catch and then the celebration. I was listening specifically to Joe's call. And all these years later, I still got goosebumps. He's going to be missed. He is one of the all-time greats.
Well, and so many of the memories, too. I said this yesterday. It's just how matter-of-fact he was.
Yeah.
It wasn't always a rosy picture that he could paint. I mean, when they played bad, he let everybody know they weren't playing so great. And that's one of the things that really folks appreciated so much. It was the honesty of it all. Very authentic man.
Yep, he was an all-time great, and he's going to be missed. Coming up, exciting news for Chipotle lovers. Is that you, Bets?
Yep.
I'm a fan. What's new on their menu today, and the catch to ordering it?
Plus, it's a special edition of Throwdown Thursday. This is retribution for the NFL-themed Throwdown Thursday. We're going to be talking about the weather. Matt Wentz, did you pick the questions too, or are you just moderating this whole bit of shenanigans?
No, listen, Mo asked me what questions would be great. I sent her a bunch, did a bunch of research. She said these are too technical, so she came up with her own. I have no idea what they are. We'll see.
Well for me.
We'll see her in a little bit.
Does not bode
Yeah,
well for
hey,
me.
live look at CSU Cam. You saw the clouds around. Those are continuing to be with us. Lingering showers on radar. This is the actual cold front, but it's not a sharp drop in temps. The sharp drop arrives this weekend. We'll take you through the next 7 days, and we'll take a look at some historic snow out west. All when we come back.
All right, Matt, looking forward to that. Meantime, Thai Fun Bistro is the next spot for our Save Our Sauce campaign. This 15-year-old Thai eatery offers delicious versions of Thai staples like their curry dishes, also their noodle classics. Check out this restaurant and more from our Doug Tratner at wkyc.com/saveoursauce.
Hey, I do. So today we're talking about swimming pools reopening in the city of Cleveland. Oh, I see. Yep. Thank you. Better? Cool. Good catch. I totally missed that.
All right, Matt, I swear I went back and I looked again in the 5-minute observations at Cleveland Hopkins Airport at 12:25 p.m. We clicked to 72. The preliminary climate information from the National Weather Service said 71. So there's some verification that needs to happen on that. But the good news is we were 70 plus.
Yeah, we were 70 plus. Betsy, I think they're working on my project. I wanted them to confirm that it was the third driest start to March that we've had, and I think they're just digging up. I've got them just digging up research. Keith from the Weather Service just got back to me, came up with some other stuff. But anyway, I'll share that with you in a second. I appreciate all their hard work. But let's go 71.5 today, shall we? It doesn't really matter. It was nice any way you put it. These are the official highs, as Betsy mentioned, 71 in Hopkins, 70 at areas of Mansfield. Put Ashtabula on there. You were up near 70 as well. And tropical Dover, New Philly. Betsy, you call it tropical Dover, and I'll tell you what, they were feeling pretty chilly today at the mid-60s. How about that? They were the cool spot. It was still nice down there. All came on a southerly wind. It continues to gust. We got a little bit lighter once that initial rain hit in, but the wind's starting to gust off towards the west again. This wind will eventually turn westerly and start to cool us down tonight, but this is, by and large, a great evening outside. We've got temps still in the 60s behind this front. Eventually, we'll start to tap into some of this cooler air, but you can see the 50s in Chicago. There's no cold blast with this, so we're going to have kind of an in-between day tomorrow where we still have lots of sunshine and temps in the 50s, and then we'll slide back this weekend. This was a stat I'm looking to get confirmed. For my research, this is what we're seeing. It's been a dry start to March. Weather Service says it's the driest March 1st through 10th we've had in history, and I think it's the third longest dry stretch we've ever had in March, and this goes back to the 1800s, so pretty incredible to get that many dry days in a row in March. Usually have systems zipping through, and this system kind of put an end to that for sure. You can see some of the heavier rain we had earlier this afternoon from Mansfield, stretching areas down near US 30 down to the south, but bulk of the rain is done. We've got a cold front with a couple showers to go. I mentioned tomorrow we get cooler, but then we get colder this weekend as that frontal boundary doesn't have a direct hit with us, but it will bring some chillier temperatures. So tonight we're back into the 40s. Look at how those skies clear out. This will set the stage for a gorgeous Friday around here. Sunshine Friday, sunshine Saturday, a little bit cooler Saturday. Let's take a big picture look. National Zymart hour-by-hour forecast becomes day-by-day forecasts. Watch what happens across the country. Our frontal boundary goes by. It's out of here. We have high pressure for the weekend. But out towards the west, this is going to be national news. We've got a system coming out of the Four Corners region. You get a flow out of the Gulf that hits the Rockies. It's called an upslope flow. It creates heavy snow this time of year in Colorado, and they have a system. Boy, this thing is going to dump snow Friday, Saturday, Sunday for them. They're going to have blizzard conditions on top of that. Eventually, the system will come at us with some rain next week. But in terms of snow, models still saying anywhere 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 inches of snow in some of the areas of the mountains and the Rockies. If you have friends or family out there or flight plans, perhaps business taking you to Denver next week, forget about it. 53, your Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast tomorrow. Cooler weekend ahead. And then next week, there's those rain chances off that system with temps in the 50s. But overall, Jay, I will take increasing clouds in 45 versus blizzard in March with 60 inches of snow. We're good.
Yeah, I'm with you. And just to clarify, if the term upslope flow comes up in our Throwdown Thursday, and the question is that good or bad? The answer is definitively that's bad. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's option C.
All right. I'll be looking forward to that question. Hey, I need every little tip I can get. Matt, thank you. We'll see you soon for that Throwdown Thursday. Right now, time to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Stephanie, a very good Thursday afternoon to you.
Good Thursday to you, Jay, and good news for people who love swimming because the city of Cleveland is opening all of its outdoor pools this season with, of course, capacity limits. So here's how that's going to work out. You can get in for a 45-minute session, and then the center will close down for 15 minutes to clean and sanitize, and then another group can come in, and it will rotate like that all day long. The pools will be open from Wednesday through Sunday. That's starting June 12th, and when it's over 85 degrees, they'll be open every day. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers have one more finalist on Team USA's men's basketball roster for the Summer Olympics, and that is center Jarrett Allen. He's one of just 15 added for consideration today. Now, this is a larger squad of finalists than usual because of COVID concerns. So with Allen, that now makes 4 Cavaliers among the 57 finalists. There's Allen, he joins Kevin Love, JaVale McGee, and Andre Drummond, who is still a Cav for now, but, who knows by summer. In any case, congratulations. That is a big honor for these guys. And now here is the one we've all been waiting for, right? Chipotle is finally adding quesadillas to its online menu only. Now that's starting today. So you can pick 3 salsas or sides to go with it, but the guac is still extra. But hey, spring forward if you want it, because delivery is free when you order a quesadilla through the app, and you spend at least $10 through the 21st. Now, as someone who orders a good deal of takeout, I really appreciate this, Jay and Betsy, and here's why. Before this, sure, you could go into Chipotle, you could ask for a quesadilla, kind of like a secret menu thing. They would give it to you. But when you're ordering online and the app doesn't have what you want and you're trying to figure it out, you got to call the place, it's a nightmare. So this is clutch, and you can customize it, and you're all good to go.
Very good. I didn't know that it was a secret. I never knew that you could ask for it, they'd give it to you. Who knew?
Stephanie has
Well,
all the inside
I have
info.
done it, so it can happen for sure.
All right. Cool info. Steph, thanks.
Coming up next, Throwdown Thursday. It's back. And this is a topic that I'd say I know about, but I'm going to be a little hesitant to say I know it because there could be some tricky questions. It's weather trivia. So, Jay, hopefully your cheating has paid off.
I have no chance.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You
This is
said
your wheelhouse.
I didn't have a chance at NFL, and I got 1 question.
Well, that's true. That's my goal, to get one right. Then, a long time coming, fantastic news for loved ones in nursing homes. We've got that story. It's our Show Us Something Good. All right, it is back. Throwdown Thursday. Last month I got it easy because we decided that around the Super Bowl that all the questions would be Super Bowl related. I had better gotten those right. But this time we're going to turn the tables because we did one after that Betsy won. She is the owner of the lamp right now.
And then it stayed on my desk because we didn't do it for
Yeah, we missed a couple weeks. So Betsy's had it all this time. But now we're going into Betsy's wheelhouse. Betsy, I think this is going to be good for you.
It's only taken over a year for this to happen, so let's get to it. Matt Wentz is our host today. Matt and Jay and I each have a buzzer. So you hear those at home. If we get the answer wrong, the other person gets a chance to guess the correct answer. And the winner gets, of course, the leg lamp. So Matt Wentz, take it away.
All right, what's the forecast the next 7 days? No, just kidding. That's unfair. Guys, listen,
Betsy writes it.
Here's the deal. Guys, this is a little different. This isn't multiple choice today either, so we're really going to push the button.
Really?
It's whoever's closer on all of these.
That's fair, actually.
This gives Jay a chance. Yeah, I think so, too.
No,
Okay.
guessing would give me a chance.
Question number one. Yeah, guessing, but you probably want to go second. It's like the Price is Right. I take $1, Bob. Okay, question one. How many days does spring last this year? How many days does spring last this year?
That was mine. So 365 divided by 4. Let's go 91.
I'm going to say 92,
okay,
Matt.
Betsy? Well, you know what, Betsy? You're exactly right. 92 days. Nice work.
91 in a leap year.
That's great.
Believe it or not. That's the only reason I know that. Because the leap year cuts into spring.
Yes.
That was a phenomenal guess,
if we Go by the
it's math. I mean, that's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, seriously. We're never doing a math throwdown.
Really good.
Ever.
If we go by how many days it's warm in Cleveland, it's like 3 or 4. Then we jump right into summer.
Yeah, right.
Question number two. Pollen counts are typically higher at what time of the day?
That's not fair. Go ahead, Bets.
I'm going to say 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right, I'm going to say 3:59.
Ooh, Jay's closer. The morning is when pollen counts are the highest. Nice, Jay.
Oh, well done, Jay.
I didn't know that. It was just a guess. I boxed you out by going a minute before you.
Very good, very good. Again, I didn't come up with these questions or verify the answers. Question number three.
Oh, it could be a
how
lie
much
then.
more daylight? How much more daylight do we get during the month of March as a total? How many in terms of minutes?
Ooh, that was me. Man, I usually ballpark these, but I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to say about an hour and 20 minutes.
I'm going to say
All right, Jay.
I'm going to say an hour because it's like a minute a day on each side, sunrise, sunset, right?
No.
Oh, but we don't get it until late in March, so I'm going to say 20 minutes.
All right, Jay, just stop guessing. Betsy's exactly right. 80 minutes is how much daylight we get. Yeah.
Stop guessing.
All right, we're going to have time for about one more here, guys. So what is the average? Actually, let's do this. How much ice does Lake Erie currently have in terms of a percent? How much is covered right now? Go ahead.
11.8%.
No, I'm going to say 11.7%.
Well, I'll tell you, Betsy got it exactly right once again. So Betsy wins. Congratulations.
I happened to look. We had sunshine. I was looking. I was like, oh, maybe we got a good shot of the lake today.
But you know, in the time we've been doing this, I think 0.1% melted. So technically, congratulations, Betsy.
Thank you, Matt.
Well done, Matt wins.
Finally.
Well done.
Yeah, you did great.
Look, I'm happy I got one right.
You did great.
And I missed the other one by 1 minute.
Yeah,
by 1 minute.
Yes.
Okay, but Betsy keeps the lamp. Next, a loving reunion. Something so good it's sure to make you smile. Details next. And how you can show us your quarantine reunions.
Then at 6 on What Matters Most, the COVID-19 pandemic has been overshadowing another public health crisis, opioid addiction here in Ohio. Mark Namick looks into the troubling growing trend and how the money is being spent across Cuyahoga County to help.
Just take 365 and divide it by 4. Good math.
Hello, sir. I'm good. How are you? Gotcha.
Oh, it's the leap year that's 91. Okay. Damn. 93.
I got you. You got me?
Can you hear me? Oh, there we go. Hey, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check. How are you, David?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, David. What, Crane? Your Vitamix?
Well, this story here is just the definition of show us something good. Hugs are finally allowed for nursing home residents who have been fully vaccinated. Boy, this is long awaited. It's great news for sons, daughters, grandchildren, anybody with a loved one in a care facility. Close contact while visiting is fine now as long as everybody is wearing a mask. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid issued these new guidelines.
Oh, we love to see these reunions, and we want to see more of them just like that. So please share your reunions with us so we can help to feel the love all over Northeast Ohio. We're going to be your go-to station for all these reunions as these quarantine restrictions are lifting, so keep them coming. You can use the hashtag reunions on 3, and you can upload pictures or video through our app, or you can share them on social media. We just love to see those. Love to see those.
They never get old. They don't. Well, we're out of time, but you know the drill. We're back tomorrow at 5, and you have an open invitation to join us for our Friday installment of What's New.
Fridays can be a little bit fun around here. We get a little extra energy for sure. What matters most with Russ